The Dallas Cowboys are at a crossroads once again, not just because of what happened last season, but because of what happens next. And right now, one unexpected name is starting to stand out in a coaching search that could quietly shape the future of this franchise on the defensive side of the ball. I'm Carlos Eduardo, and today I want to talk directly to Cowboys fans about what this defensive coordinator search really tells us about where this organization is headed, why this surprise candidate matters more than some people realize, and how this moment connects to the larger identity of the Dallas Cowboys as America's team. When news first came out that Dallas was widening its search for a new defensive coordinator, I paid close attention. Not because it was flashy, not because it generated headlines, but because for this franchise, how you search often tells you more than who you eventually hire. Brian Schottenheimer made it clear early on that this wouldn't be a narrow, predictable process. Virtual interviews, younger assistants, emerging minds. That alone already signaled a shift. Now we're in the in-person phase, and that's where things get real. That's where impressions matter. That's where football intelligence meets communication, presence, and leadership. And that's where Durant Jones enters the conversation. From my perspective, this is not just about one candidate. This is about whether the Cowboys are finally serious about evolving defensively instead of recycling familiar ideas. Jones, who worked as the Vikings defensive backs coach in 2022 and has served as their defensive pass game coordinator since 2023, comes from a system built under Brian Flores. And that matters. Flores' defenses are aggressive, adaptable, and detail-oriented. They're built on communication, disguise, and situational awareness. What stands out to me is not the defensive mastermind label. I don't get carried away by buzzwords. What stands out is how people inside the building reportedly reacted to his interview. Efficient communication, clear structure. That's not a throwaway compliment. That's exactly what Schottenheimer has emphasized since taking over. Football at this level is about clarity. Players don't fail because they can't play. They fail because they hesitate. If I'm being honest with Cowboys fans, hesitation has been a recurring problem on this defense in big moments. Late rotations, missed assignments, confusion against motion-heavy offenses. That's not always about talent. That's about teaching and structure. And yes, there are bigger names floating around. Jim Leonhard has been mentioned as a potential favorite, and he's a respected football mind. But the fact that Jones is being labeled internally as a surprise candidate tells me something important. It tells me the Cowboys are actually listening. They're not walking into interviews with a pre-written conclusion. Jerry Jones said this search will be different. And for once, the early evidence backs that up. We've seen this movie before, Cowboys fans. In the past, Jerry often zeroed in on a specific profile. Prior head coaching experience, familiar names, safe hires. The result? Defenses that were rigid, slow to adjust, and increasingly out of sync with modern offenses. The NFL doesn't wait for you. It evolves, whether you like it or not. Seeing Dallas seriously consider younger, emerging coaches feels overdue. Will it work? There's no guarantee, but trying something different matters. Process matters. Now, let me zoom out for a moment, because you can't talk about the Dallas Cowboys without understanding the weight of history. This is America's team, not because of marketing, but because of decades of relevance, expectation, and visibility. Tom Landry built a culture of discipline and innovation. Roger Staubach defined leadership under pressure. Emmitt Smith embodied durability and will. Troy Aikman represented precision. Michael Irvin brought controlled chaos and swagger. Those teams weren't great by accident. They were aligned. Coaching, talent, and identity all pointed in the same direction. Fast forward to today. This roster has stars. Dak Prescott is still the engine of this offense, a quarterback who wins with timing, intelligence, and resilience. CeeDee Lamb is a true number one receiver, capable of taking over games. Micah Parsons is one of the most disruptive defenders in football, a matchup problem every offense has to account for. Trayvon Diggs, when healthy, brings ball-hawking instincts that change momentum. The talent is real. The question is structure. In my opinion, the next defensive coordinator must maximize Micah Parsons without turning the defense into a one-man show. Must protect the secondary with smarter coverage rules. Must win on third down. Must close games. These are not abstract ideas. These are measurable outcomes. Look at the NFC East. It's physical. It's emotional. It's unforgiving. Games against Philadelphia, New York, and Washington are never just about scheme. They're about discipline under chaos. One missed call can flip a division game. One busted coverage can swing a season. And then there's AT&T Stadium, Jerry World, a building that amplifies everything. Momentum, noise, pressure. Great defenses feed off that environment. Confused defenses get exposed by it. That's why communication keeps coming up in these interviews. That's why Jones' impression matters. Players respond to clarity. Stars especially. Micah Parsons doesn't need motivation. He needs structure that lets him attack without guessing. There's also the broader league context. The Jets are reportedly interested in Jones as well. That tells me this isn't just a Dallas curiosity. Other teams see value here. And when multiple organizations identify the same emerging coach, that's usually not random. Now, I want to be very clear. This is not a guarantee. This is not an endorsement of a hire that hasn't happened. This is not me saying Deron Jones is the answer. What I am saying is this process finally looks like a serious football process. And that matters, especially for a fan base that's heard promises before. Cowboys fans are tired of almost elite defense, almost enough adjustments, almost getting over the playoff hump, almost doesn't hang banners. From my perspective, this defensive coordinator decision will send a message. Either Dallas is committed to modernizing how it thinks defensively, or it's still afraid to step outside its comfort zone. If they hire a younger, emerging coach like Jones, it says they're betting on teaching, adaptability, and long-term growth. If they default back to a familiar name purely for safety, it says fear still drives the room. As for predictions, I believe this search will continue to surprise people. I don't think the Cowboys are done shaking up expectations. And regardless of who gets the job, the pressure will be immediate. This roster is built to compete now. The window is open. This is Dallas football. This is expectation. This is pressure. And to Cowboys fans watching this, I'll say this. Stay critical, but stay engaged. Ask why. Ask how. Demand clarity, not just results. Because championships are built long before January. They're built in decisions like this, in rooms most fans never see. That's where the future of this defense is being decided right now.